we've got Burning, Unconcerning. Fuck that fire damage. Although I don't see any Conquerors, to be fair. Though they do have a Thunderer. They're rolling a Thunderer. Big ass HE shell battle cruise dispersion monster that really doesn't want to be close to anybody because you know, he needs his personal space. She needs her personal space.
Probably not in this specific tournament though. I could see a few Thunderers just brawling it out.
Oh no, it happens. Absolutely, it happens. But I mean, the Thunderer has, I'm pretty sure, a raised citadel as other British battleships of the type or want to have. So I mean, if you get into that knife fighting range, there's a whole bunch of get wrecked, son. If you aren't able to guard all your flanks. We also got Arch Zero and a Georgia Speed Demon, able to pop in that zoom consumable and fly across the map. Got all sorts of secondaries, and while she only has 6 guns, she's got a whole box of gimmicks to make up for them. Plus we got a Pommern, rocking some torps in that. Got the FTG armor scheme, not a joke. Some downsized guns just mean it's a little more accurate, so it's not a bad thing. But one thing I have not seen in this tournament is a bow in Pommern, or sorry, an ass in Pommern, where your gun profiles actually are better. You're more able to bounce shells and just kind of weather the incoming storm. Inevitably, all the FTGs we see and the Pommerns are pushing. They don't get to take advantage of that. And then we have the Gnyaz. Suvorov is hanging out with the Pommern, heading toward his eventual demise. What do we have on the other side?
So it looks like, I mean, from your perspective, your flank, it looks like they traded a tier 8 for a tier 9, and then they went from the Ganget down to the Knez. So honestly, I think that was a more logical choice. Over here, we got the same comp as last time. We got the Mikasa, the tier 2 battleship. We got the Sean Bart, a tier 9, an Ohio, and a GK. So that looks like they're only taking one tier 9 and one tier 2, and the rest are tier 10 battleships. And the other team is 1 tier 10, 2 tier 9s, and 1 tier 3. So honestly, initial startups, since these guys are all in secondary battleships, I think, honestly, Burning Unconcerning is better off towards the start. But I cannot say that for sure, but that is just my speculation. Looks like the Mikasa is actually going towards middle, towards C, which is actually pretty smart considering the fact that it's easy island cover but it could be also a suicide spot just in case they actually do go through middle, but they're not, so I guess he is safe for now. How do things go on your side, Ashkins?
Yeah, I think the Mikasa is going to try to plug the gap with his body, scream "Take me, senpai," if the case may be, but that is not going. His bluff will not be called, as the Georgia, the Pommern, and the Gnyaz are shoving up onto D, and pretty soon going to be coming across a Jean Bart, which is going, oh wait, fuck this shit, and he is immediately turned out. Fuck this shit, I'm out, says the John Bart, but he's going to chuck some stuff over his shoulder as the Mikasa continues to head toward the center cap, which actually, if he's able to make it down this little trench, that little Mikasa might actually be able to cap B in a few minutes' time. Over on the other side, we got an Ohio Kurfürst already capping, the Kurfürst capping A with the Ohio in close support, as the Thunderer mirrors the John Bart, noping off into the distance.
So like I said, because of their lineup, I really think that Burning Unconcerning is better off. As you can see, they already almost have 2 caps, and the Thunder is keeping these 2 battleships away from A. It looks like the Ohio is actually pushing in now, but the GK had to run because of the fire damage. The Mikasa is also, slowly but surely chugging it to middle. The Sean Bart, which is not necessarily a kiting ship, has to kite away from these 3 battleships. He is trying to get the crossfire. Ooh, I just realized that he's trying to get to the 10 line, so this way the GK can crossfire the rest of these battleships over here when they make their push out eventually.
Yeah, not only that, but if the John Bart is able to take that position and I guess either successfully ass in or somehow make the turn and bow in, then if the Georgia Pommern are going to try to go into that Charlie cap, they're going to have to expose the side. So if they can't show their broadside, or if they're unwilling to do so, Suddenly they're locked, and Tortoise in the Hare, the Tortoise is slowly making his way over to that Bravo cap. Eventually going to get there, and if the John Bart keeps the Georgia and Pommern contained for a while, that's going to be a back capping. While the Ohio is about to take the A cap, that's going to equalize the cap pressure, which is currently points are over in Burning Unconcerning's favor, but that little Mikasa is about maybe 2-3 minutes away from making that back cap happen and totally changing the vibe on this surface. Really, not a lot of damage done so far. Kind of surprising, to be honest.
Yeah, to be honest, depending on where the Thunder goes, if the Mikasa does push out into B, it would be very unfortunate because Thunder, HE, and AP. I mean, just the HE alone can literally take a third of his health easy, maybe even, I don't know, two-fourths.
Well, if that Mikasa just stays on the E line, hiding in that B cap with the island cover, Thunder's not going to have cross shots on him. The Georgia or the Pommern are going to have to reverse all the way back to protect B to be able to get shots back there. Jean Bart is actually looking to make the chase as he's coming forward bow in. Might end up tripping across the Suvorov, which seems to be like the farm alarm. So, oh shit, I'm here, don't farm me. No, Suvorov is actually taking some shots.
Yeah, firing HE, which is honestly the smart choice against a bow in Jean Bart.
Yep.
Because I mean, whatever ammo choice, AP is not a good idea against a Jean Bart who is bow in, especially if it doesn't overmatch 32 millimeters.
And pretty soon, derp, 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 those guns are going to be barking as he pops his plane, and he has a line to the Pommern, who probably just lit himself.
Naz, who's backing up right now, actually.
I mean, he's kind of buried behind some islands. And if you're going to take a pot shot, I think the Pommern's probably the better choice if you're given the two. Mikasa about to step his little toes in Bravo. Pitch out of pitching a fishing pole and see what he can find, while the Ohio runs the Thunderer off the edge of the map. As we stated, the Thunderer, normally spinning around in circles and juking and jiving and stuff off in the middle of nowhere, does not want to brawl with an Ohio. If that Ohio starts getting close, especially if the Ohio has IFHE, well, no, Ohio secondaries hit for 20, right? So that would kick him up to 25?
27.
27 base?
With IFHE.
Ah, okay. Well, that's still not enough to screw with the Thunder, so probably that doesn't matter. But nonetheless, if they do get into a knife fighting range, one of them has a Citadel that's much higher in the water than the other one does, and I don't think the Thunder is going to want to play with that.
Ooh, big hits on the Georgia. I'm not sure who that was. It could have... Wait.
Big hits on the Georgia. Could have been the Ohio. Might have been able to sink some shells over that island. I don't know about that, though. That's a pretty extreme shot.
It could have been the Jean Bart, actually. I'm not sure, though.
I think it was the Mikasa. I think we're just...
Look at that. The Pommern's on a triple fire, it looks like, and he just damaged Khan. Jean Bart is still shooting AP. With the Canaz over there just beaching and trying to trade with the Jean Bart as best as he can.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think this Jean Bart can just completely ignore this Canaz, because just because it's, you know, a tier 3 battleship doesn't mean its HE doesn't set fires at all, which it just did. So
that is true, but at the same time, the Pommern is the focus target. The longer the Pommern lives, the more heals he gets off. So if he is the called target, that's where the shells got to go, and Pommern is down to 7,800. 75 secondary shells meeting that superstructure.
I think this is an IFHE curve first.
Oh, of course. Can't not be. Those guns, man. Kerfurst guns? Absolutely.
Like, I mean, the amount of alpha damage these secondaries are doing is just obscene for it not to be IFHE. I mean, me personally, I don't spec secondaries on my GK, so I've...
Well, the big thing in this tourney, with it's only being 4v4, one of which being an under-tiered underdog, you don't have the same amount of, like, getting screwed open water by a Smolensk fire pressure or a Worcester or something. So you can get away, you know, theoretically, with saving the 4 points in your in fire prevention. Not that you want to be lit on fire, but if you're going to die, you're probably going to die over the concerted effort of 3 different battleships shooting you from 3 different directions, as opposed to being slowly whittled down by, like, some little dude off 23 kilometers away. Ooh, Mikasa whammed in the face.
Yeah, by the Georgia.
Yeah,
So it looks like the battleships are up on caps right now and points by about 200. So I mean, burning Unconcerning really actually, and they're also up on a kill. So burning Unconcerning really needs to make a step up here. Maybe even kill the Mikasa and try and go for C if they want to have any hope of winning this game. The Thunder, in my opinion, is I mean, even though it's a tier 10 battleship, like it's not doing much from the back line, especially this guy over here. Like, I mean, he's completely out of the fight and not using his hull or HP at all.
Yeah, he's trying. Thunder is trying to win the long range trade. He's got the accuracy over the Ohio to an extent. He's got the ability to inflict massive damage to the Ohio in compared to what the Ohio could do to him if the Ohio's AP isn't going to bite. The Thunder's HE is going to bite. So I mean, he's winning the trade, but at the same time, he's so far out that even if he kills the Ohio, is he going to be able to get back to a cap in time? Like, only 4 minutes remain in this game. That ain't a lot. They're going to have to kill everybody. And as we said that, Mikasa goes down, Pommern down on the other side. The Gnaz continuing to be ignored as a backline threat, as Serpent still focusing on the other higher tier things. But here is where we see a pretty critical moment as the battleships now have the Georgia completely in a pinch. Yep. That Georgia falls, the Gnaz will soon fall after, and then it's chasing the Thunder that is probably unable to kill 3 battleships by himself. I'm feeling it.
It's not a good idea. It's not looking good for this Georgia over here.
Yep. I'm feeling it. Like it's going to be heading over to the battleships. To the battleships.
Yes. So like, I would like to reiterate, like, I mean, this Thunder, the way he played was kind of like the way you play Thunder randoms, to be a heavy kiter, farm as much damage as possible. But in a competitive scene like this, especially with the prize pool of $1,000, you can't play like this. You actually have to use your hull, use your HP, and try and deter the enemy team from shooting your teammates and shooting you. Especially with Thunder's 10-second rudder shift time. I mean, he could have dodged a lot more shells that would have otherwise hit his teammates for a good amount of damage. But I mean, other than that, like, I don't see anything changing the course of this battle.
Yeah, there's definitely a time and a place when you just gotta push the fuck it button. And sometimes the fuck it button can make for some really weird shit, but sometimes that's the only button you gotta press. So, fuck it button has been pressed. Thunder coming off the A line and engaging the curve first in direct, but also showing a lot of side to the Ohio. Big shells coming in, not really connecting. And the Gnaz is trying to get up close and personal with a John Bart that is reversing, backing that ass up for the Suvorov buddy. But Suvorov not making it easy, actually turning off to the side to try to get further behind the John Bart. And unless the John Bart starts looking to go forward and kite, taking the Gnaz seriously, there could potentially be a ram situation. Nah. John Bart wises to his tricks.
John Bart will just accelerate ahead, and it's way faster than the Gnaz. So, ooh, look at that on the curve first. Actually, almost got dev struck by this Thunderer. Guessing that was AP. I'm not sure.
Oh, of course, Thunder AP is crazy. The Conqueror AP, everybody likes to shoot HE in a Conqueror. The reason why, the AP has a really short fuse, which means it might be able to rip through some of the armor in a battleship, but it might not rip through all of the armor to get to the Citadel before she pops. So Conqueror's ability to Citadel a battleship is a bitch. Conqueror's ability to Citadel a cruiser is wonderful. Thunder doesn't have that problem.
I feel like this Thunder should really try and get to the Jean Bart to help his tier 3 battleships, so this way they might secure the win.
Well, 52 seconds left. It's about 500 point difference, and the Jean Bart is hiding behind a rock. Meanwhile, the little Suvorov that could was unable to bring the load to farm or bring the load to market. So that's going to leave the Thunder taking maybe 1 or 2 more pot shots of that Ohio. And then this one's going to be in the... Oh, wait, nope. Sorry. In 6 seconds, They're going to win by points, and that's going to be game. Battleships taking game 2. Very much props to them. And
That's 2-0 so far.